and helping them explore their artistic creativity and all of that. So when I get through, I'm gonna walk around. I encourage y'all to walk around also. So I really need to be on this grass, so I'm gonna get off the stage. And if the ground wasn't so wet, I'd take my shoes off, but I think the ancestors won't mind. So this is a gong, and we gong in our ancestral spirits. And I always tell people we don't do shy up in here, okay? You should not be shy to call out the names of your ancestors. Isn't that right?
Yes,
sister?
indeed.
Oh, they can hear me, surely. Okay, all right. Biggie, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. But when I'm gonging, I need both hands, actually. So let me explain to y'all what we're going to do. No matter what religion or spiritual path you're on, you always should honor your ancestors.
Yes.
Because we carry our ancestors within us.
Yes.
Our ancestors inform everything that we do. And developing your spirituality is a part of development, right? Development isn't just about buildings and roads and all that, It's developing what's inside of us. So we want our ancestors to know that we remember them.
Ashe.
As I gong this brass container, it's getting very dented because I do this ritual a whole lot. Our ancestors are going to know that we remember and that we honor them, okay? So I got to put this mic down for a minute. Hold this for me, brother. So I'm going to start out by calling the name of my mother, Teresa Calzetta Garrett Hill. And we don't have to call out the names in a certain order. You know, you first, you first, you first. No. You just shout them out, okay? And don't be shy about it. All right, my brother? You hear me, KK? All right now, here we go. Call them out, y'all.
Bernice Brown. Helen Bird.
Call them out.
Dr. Francis Cress Welsland.
Call them out. Call them out. Call them out. The names of your ancestors, my brother. Call them out. Call them out. Call them out. Call them out. Let them know you have not forgotten. Let them know you remember. Bring that spirit down in here. Come on, call them out. 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 Lisa, call them out. Call them out. Call them out. It's a part of your spiritual development to even set up an altar in your home. And an altar in your home can simply be ones who have departed, and a glass of water, some flowers, even food that you know they love. Like my mom, Teresa Calzetta Garrett Hill, she loved her some greens, y'all. So I set greens out for her and cornbread and red hot peppers. And I know she, and then I put some cakes too. She loves sweets. Yeah, so do that. And you can build on that. That's a part of your own development. Right? Yes, yes. So I just had to share that with y'all. Now I'm going back to the stage. Thank you, my brother. Yes, yes.
Ashe.
Ashe's here. I can take the mic.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Y'all hear those drums in the background? Drugs are so much a part of us as African people, as people from indigenous backgrounds, from people all over the world. That's a part of our heartbeat. So I love the theme of somebody help me with this. I love the theme of Festival this year. And for you all who don't speak Kiswahili, it's saying that development is about people and not things. Do y'all agree with that?
Yes.
You know, development to me, thank you, sister, is of course about our spiritual development, but it's also about how we interact in our communities. Thank you, brother. So, if we're talking about community activities, and we're a community here today, right? So I want y'all to be a part of this presentation. I don't like to just talk at you, I like it to be interactive, okay? So I ain't putting y'all on the spot or anything, but I'm gonna call on some of you all to tell us as a community means to you. And then we're going to run with it from there. Who's going to be first? Uh-oh, don't everybody raise your hand at once. My sister, tell them what development means to you. Tell them who you are first, if you don't mind. If you're not incognito.
No.
Okay, cool.
My name is Nakia Brown. I am from Baltimore, Maryland. And it means to me, it really means to have Iwa character. It means to make your word rock. It means to be reliable, to be responsible. It means to worship God by how you treat other people. So to me, it's an internal process. You have to be challenged. It's the struggle. You don't get good character without struggle. You have to endure and persevere and be challenged. And I always say, like, pain and struggle is God's gym. It's the way that you are trained to really know what you're made of. Because you don't know who you are and what you are until you're in interaction with other people. So to me, development is a divine process that's put forth by the ancestors in the Most High to really bring out the highest potential within yourself. And a lot of people, like you said, do see it as it's physical, it's about the buildings or the roads and all that. But no, like, human beings have that within themselves, and we develop all those things as a reflection of who we are inside. So that is what development is to me. It's about your character and how you relate to other people.
Right on, sister. I love that. Give her a hand, y'all, because she's speaking truth. She's bringing word. Now, who else knows what development is to them? Yes, my brother.
To me, development is positive change.
Yes.
From one stage to another stage in all spheres of life, namely culture, social, economic, and others. Thank you. So to me, development is a positive change.
Yes. Yes. Give the brother a hand, y'all. Yeah. So you young people, you hear this, huh? Unalewa kitu wanasema. Huh?
That's my handle on Instagram.
Yes, development is about positive change. Development is about our spirituality and how we relate to other people. Now I know Sister Lisa got something to say about that.
I knew you were going to call on me. I knew it.
You will. I hope you're ready there.
Okay, so I mean, I have to add on to what you were saying, because I also believe that it's within its character, and you cannot, if development in the sense word is about developing communities internationally, you can't think or work internationally until you start. And character is expand upon that, and that you develop your own character, but in the greater world of around other people, it's not enough. So developing your character at the same time of understanding how the dynamics of the world works, and to contribute what your special talent or power is to make improvements in the world is, to me, what development is at its core. I can be the, formal development speaker, but I don't want to bring that into this space. But that's sort of what I believe.
That's beautiful. A couple of more people. Oh, give her a hand.
I shall.
I wonder where that comes from when we clap for people. It must be a very, very ancient practice, I would think. In some cultures we stomp our feet.
We create the vibration. Yes.
Yeah. But I noticed that a lot of young people these days, they do this. Now why is that? Somebody tell me. Huh? Because it's cool. It's cool when you do it. Yeah, and it's an acknowledgement. And things change. So sometimes I do it too. But I love stomping my feet.
We're just expressing love.
Okay. And that's a part of development also. That love vibe, huh? The love vibe that we spread wherever we go. Once you develop your spirituality, wherever you walk, you're going to spread a love vibe. Huh? And people see it. It's like a glow that's on you. It's like the Creator and the Arusha, or some of you might say the angels, wrap themselves around you. And I know I am. And I love that feeling. You are too, I can tell. Yeah. We feather people. We know. That's right. And I love when you were talking about the international aspect of development, and we're trying to talk about Pan-Africanism also. Isn't that right?
Yes. I shall.
Yeah, so wherever I walk in the world, not only do I spread that vibe of love and Pan-African spirit, but I'm also a part of the international community. And I learned that and absorbed that as a member of the Black Panther Party. We looked at ourselves and we knew and know that we're a part of the international family. And if somebody has a good vibe, that love vibe, we're ready to work with you.
Yes.
And I haven't changed at all. As a matter of fact, I want to share one of my poems out of Life Slices, A Taste of Magic. This is my second poetry book advertisement. And I wrote this poem after I had been in China, in Shanghai, for 2 months as a part of the Shanghai Writers Residency Program. And when I would walk the streets there, people would be so shocked to see me, because I dress like this all the time in my African-inspired clothes, that they would almost wreck their motor scooters, and that blew my mind. It actually blew my mind. I said, a huge city like Shanghai, I see an African woman? But it was like that. So when I got back home in Arusha, I wrote this poem called International African. Y'all want to hear that?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm one of them international Africans who you might have caught glimpses of on the news. We are the ones who are comfortable speaking in any language, in any culture, because our spirits got flow like the blue. Hey. We speak French with a Senegalese accent. We speak Kiswahili with a Midwestern drawl. I'm liable to greet you, ni hao, my friend, or bid you adieu with a tutanati, y'all. The outside of me reflects that inside DNA. that twists and turns in creatively unique ways, like head beads from Cape Town, lekes from New Africa. I sport paper beads from Uganda, labret pierced. I'm comfortable picking up tofu with my chopsticks or eating ugali with my fingers. I dig strong hip-hop vibes in any language, and I appreciate beauty in all colors and genders. I am compelled to honor my egon in all the ways that I've learned. I cut off my locks and sacrifice to my Arusha, marking bridges that I burn. Scarification cheek marks from Nkono, chin tattoo from Kansas City. I walked in the streets of Shanghai, China, heavily cloaked in black pride and African dignity. I dig my long earrings from Joburg and my gown and shawl, a gift from Ghana. I dress all of my fingers and some of my toes with power rocks and brass and copper armor. I'm not through. Rap stones from Minneapolis, Chicago, Baltimore, and D.C. Sunshine-colored conga from Tanzania, and ankle bracelets from traditional Maasai. The essence and bliss of my inside is reflected on my outside is true. I am a citizen of the planet. Your Mother Earth is my mother too. And I walk the way of a new world and good of the old world too. Do y'all? That's the way you gotta walk. And when you feel in your power, when you feel in your essence, when you're feeling and riding that wave of development, you're gonna walk strong.
Yes.
I love walking in China like that. I love walking wherever I am like that. Power walking, y'all, because I got a developed spirit that keeps developing every day. Y'all explore your spirits also. That's so important, Isn't it, sister?
Ashe.
It's very, very. You hear my sister saying Ashe, and a lot of people don't know what that is, but that reflects our Pan-Africanist spirit also, especially as Africans of the diaspora. We got so much wrapped in who we are because many of us don't know specifically where we come from. I was actually blessed to take a DNA test. Had any of y'all done that before? Yeah. And it revealed that my matriarchal line, I'm sweating, comes from West Africa. Oh, you're such a gentleman. Wow. I got love for this brother. Yes, he be on an excellent artist. But when I did my roots reading, which you have to undergo when you are going to be initiated into the ancestral society, it was revealed to me that I am a part of my father's clan, and you'll never guess where my father's clan come from.
Wow.
Tanzania, or where Tanzania is now. I was so shocked, because I would always tell people when they ask me where I'm from, I'm from West Africa. But come to find out, I'm from the West and the East. I love that. I love that fact. I love that vibe. And I think that's why I've always been so drawn to Maasai culture. You know, the Babalao, the priest who did my reading, he said, you think you and your husband came here because of the political atmosphere, because you all were welcome as freedom fighters? He said, that was your ancestors calling you. And if I had never developed my spirituality, I wouldn't have come to that point where I would even dare to explore that, you know? So you all who have just come here, one of the main points was developing your spirituality. And you should also develop the way you look at the world. You know, there's so much going on now. There's climate change. Is that the strongest term we can use? Climate change? Does someone else have a name for that? Is it climate disaster?
Destruction.
I hate to say that, you know. So we'll stick with climate change. There's all kind of political stuff going on with that fella in the White House, you know. But there's good things going on also. And that's what I love to focus on. And those good things develop your inner power and let you know that, hey, with all this negativity, a shield of positivity around me. Huh? We got to be like that. We got to be like that. You're so yes, yes. You are too, brother. I love it when we express whatever culture is inside of us. You know? Like my brother here, I think you have a lot of cultures inside of you, and you're not afraid to express it. I respect that, you know. And when someone says an artist, you know, we artists, which is something else that you can develop. Being an artist is one of the most empowering things you can develop. And all of us are artists. Some of us are just afraid to express that. Everyone who understands that they're an artist, let me see y'all's hands. Shoot, all of y'all do. Brother Sandra, you're an artist. Yes. Artists in different ways, you know, in different ways. How much time I got? I don't want to.
You have as much time as you need.
Cool.
It's 10 to 1 right now, and you at least have this until 2 if you like.
All right. I like that. Yes. One of the things that I want to incorporate in this talk is the fact that we do have to be aware of what's happening in the world. We have to develop that sense of awareness. That awareness is expressed through film. And we are very honored to have an internationally known filmmaker here, Sister Lisa Russell, right there, y'all, coming from Brooklyn, New York. We have another filmmaker, Brother Emma Messiah, right there. And then we got another filmmaker, Brother Gabriel. Jabril. I like that too.
And sister, we got another filmmaker here, Mr. Mugabo from Kenya.
Where are you, brother?
Congo.
Yes. You from Kenya?
Congo.
Okay. Some of Congo came up in my DNA. Congo, Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, Mali. Those were the most. Are you showing any of your film today? No?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? What time?
Yeah, there is one, the video installation, because I'm a contemporary artist. I'm also filmmaker.
Okay.
So we have one, the collaboration with Coco Biamu
Y'all from Rwanda?
from Congo.
From Congo? And you from Rwanda, sister? Congo also? From Kenya. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to show a couple of films today that reflect this sense of empowerment and sense of understanding what's happening in the world, and of course a sense of spirituality that we all must explore. Not only explore but grow it. So my brother who's helped me with the film. Uhuru Behind Bars first. But let me tell them something about it first, okay? Where's Kalamoto?
The music, I think,
Is
grabbed
over
him.
there? He needs to be here.
I'm gonna message him. I'm gonna message him right now.
Okay, because Kalamoto is here, and that's one of the most spiritual hip-hop artists that I know. And he's from Mombasa. So when Lisa Russell was there at our center, I don't think she knew she would be making these videos, huh? It just grew.
Like that.
And because Kalamoto was there, Brother Emma Messiah said, I'm going to jump in this too. And it was a tribute to my husband, Brother Pete O'Neill, and all the freedom fighters, huh? Many who are still locked behind bars. That's why it's called Uhuru Behind Bars, huh? So that's something you all should explore. The fact that there are political prisoners, especially in America. A lot of y'all didn't know that, did you? Huh? And a lot of them are some of our Black Panther comrades. Mm-hmm. So I think we can roll that right now just to show that these expressions of your political development can come out in your filmmaking, like Brother Emma's had. And at the end, we're going to show Shango Warrior, Miss Lisa, because that is an expression of the growth and development of our spirituality. Kalamoto, I hope you come here so I can introduce you. Okay, my brother. Let me get out of the way. This one is Uhuru Behind Bars.
Mwanangu, nataka kweli Smart TV unaotazama, choma kopi, choma kana, sau vitabu unavyosoma, hama sema unapozunguka wengi wanafiki, ndio wanajua ukweli, ila ni wachache ndio wanaoafi. Ya Luta ipo well, sio story ya Marvin na Disney. Kuna ndugu wapo jela wali sacrifice hadi kidney, na wengine wapo hera roho zao zibaki with me. Mosi kama Dela, these tribal cells need me. Black Panther haikuwa movie alopita nyongo, chemshe bongo, chapters not actors, ni muda kupinga uongo. Tuko exile, mwingine yuko Cuba, menipo bongo. Pitonel, chapter uka Kansas City, UAACC, serving your ass city. Navuta hewa safi kimkumbuka Point Dexter. Umri unakwenda, muda umepita, ujana umekwisha. Nishikilio kifike kote, na miss makamanda, na tuzuru Kongo na Rwanda. Mkono juu kauna jipu na kuapa, sio propaganda. We need real power, sio two symbols za Wakanda. Kipindi zilitulinda kwenye maya, ukaeka misingi ya mtu mweusi ndani ya Ulaya. Ya saba ilikuwa kinga, tukutaka mauaji haya, kutua bila hatia, au sisi ndo sura mbaya. Siku na uhuru ya kupaza sauti na kuongea, kwenye ziwa aliyeka mamba ili tusiweze kuogelea. Muda umewadia, solo tukiwa bubu, nani atongea? Labda kitokea nimondoka, nani atandika historia? Kipindi wakituwinda kawa nyama kwa kichaka, tumepitia tabu nyingi, usituone tumefika hapa. The Africans, Black Americans, bado ni kaka, nadhani umepata. Wale uko jela uhuru wanataka, wapo ndani bila tia, wapo wengi wamejifia, wapo waliozea jela bila kuiona familia. Mpo nyinyi mnatusifia, au mmekuwa mkitusikia, jamaa wengi wanaumia, mshekumbuka tafidia. We ain't racist, ubaguzi wa rangi kwenye nguo, siku mbili haijaisha, mauli ya muwa tumpasuo. This is real ish, mwamko unahitajika kwa na chuo, harakati ianze na wewe, so lazima duo.
dark skin melts into the pitch dark night. The blue draws to the black like moths drawn to the light. With cuffs that clutch us in the system's clutches, caging our culture for profit in the guise of justice. They say it is our darkness that draws them dangerously close. That makes us bad, that makes them mad, that makes blue draw red from black, blow blue holes to black backs. They say it is our darkness that warrants our bondage. That makes despondent fathers, fatherless daughters, barred brothers, lonely, mourning mothers, mornings learning yet another. Hashtag flashback to the promise of liberation and supposed emancipation. Yet still no peace, still more grief, still black bodies slain in black streets by blue forces. Born of white sheets with lit torches, they torture us. Black boys and girls behind black bars, black mothers wearing black scarves to bury their babies, their brothers, their lovers, to bury their grief. The roots run deep in the soil beneath the trees where black bodies hung limp and blew in the breeze like leaves. Ed Poindexter, Mumia Abu Jamal, Russell Maroon Schultz, Khalil Montagan, Mutulu Shakur, Jamil Abdullah Al-Amin, Sundiata Akoli, Veranza Bowers, Romaine Chip Fitzgerald, Kamal Siddiqui, Rochelle Sinke McGee, Delbert Africa, Chuck Africa. To our comrades in cages, to our freedom fighters under fire, from the streets of New York to the villages in Africa, building community and fighting for our liberation throughout the diaspora. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chance. Black Panther, not just a movie, it's a movement.
Yes, yes. I love that one. It has such a good beat. It has a perfect, powerful message. And I think even if you don't know Kiswahili, you can still feel it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Now, there's Kalamoto and here's Emma Masai. Now, Emma, you're singing. Emma is a very good singer. He's a filmmaker. He's a rapper. And he does it many times in the Ma language because he's Maasai, a very proud brother. And can you just tell them what you were singing in Ma?
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna speak a little bit of what I was singing about. Africa, Baba running, Africa running. Africa running in Maasai, like understand Africa, what's going on around the world. So the message is about it doesn't matter which language we use, but what's going around the world. Now we understand, we see a lot of pictures, we see our freedom fighter. So we believe that that's not only the picture, but it is the movement.
Thank you, Brother Emma. And Brother Emma and I, we do a lot of music together, and I enjoy it immensely. And I think that's because I got my blood. Yes, I do. Okay, Mr. Kalamoto, who I was calling on the microphone, he couldn't hear me because he was absorbed in the music over there. Kyle, would you like to say something about this film? And you're also going to say something about Shango Warrior, but not yet. Would you like to just say something?
Good afternoon, habari kwa rika zangu, like the age mate said. My name's Kalamoto, an African. I don't define Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda. Okay, I was caught in some ish, but I'm here. Behind bars, Uhuru behind bars. Uhuru is freedom. We all know about freedom. We don't have to start that book now. But behind bars, it's a metaphor. I'm an MC. I do hip hop all the way from East Africa, a place called Kenya. Bars linking up pattern skills of wordplay, metaphors, and the content. But the bar I meant here was the bars that are bars, you know? Yeah, the bars that you don't see the outside, you only exist in the inside. I'm not even saying about the prison bars, I'm talking about the real bars. Like, you are an African, but you don't represent Africa. You are living in your own zone of bars. So that's the bar I was talking about. This idea came, a day I was sitting me with my friend called Lisa, and also one of the Black Panther in Africa, P.T.O.N.L. We were just talking, and then we were like, you know this movie called Black Panther? Yeah, the Black Panther movie. Oh, the Disney thing. Yeah. Oh, Lupita Nyong'o, my sister from Kenya, did that. Yeah. And it was like, that is a movie, a good movie, you know, with those powers, all the frictions and sans things. But the thing is that maybe for me, or my understanding is, it had nothing to do with the name. It had nothing. It's like me, I'm called Casey, I'm a man, and then you call me Mariamu, and then I'm a man. It doesn't fit the name I was given. So the movie, we were like describing the movie. No hate, no disrespect, you know, all that. But the thing is that we just told that the Black Panther, it was a real movement. It wasn't an hour and 30 minutes movie that Disney came with that. In the movie was more about the comic book, if you remember about comic book, but it wasn't Black Panther. It had nothing to do with that. And then the thing is, we had the real Black Panther in the room talking with him. So it's like, are you getting any compensation here? Fidia, Waswahili, fidia. Like, are you getting anything? Is any of your friends in jail? Like the people who are, you know, in prison like 30, 40 years, they are sick, dying, you know, they were stolen from their youth. Are they even getting anything from anything there? And they were like, no, you know. So it was like, I just had this idea, like, I just need to correct my thoughts. Maybe I'm so conscious enough so for an African to understand me, but I was like, I just need to write something. And then we just came with Behind Bars, Uhuru. So it's all about saying the truth about the name, 1, 2. It's all about telling the story of an African. The decades we were and the years we passed by here, we are like, Africa, if someone talks about Africa, he sees people grieving, he's seen drought and famine, you know, he sees people killing each other, the Hutu and the Tutsi, he sees war, he sees Somalia being given those guns, you know, he sees people stealing. Even if they take a movie, they show us like an African being raped by a white person, an African being jailed because he's a thief, an African being a slave. Those are the things they picture us for that. The generation that is coming will never see an African like someone who is strong, someone who has the determination, someone with the potential, someone with that being me. You will just see someone in the second vibe of his personality. So I was like, no, it's the right time people also talk about this story. We got guns, and we can create the youths from the wise thoughts from our elders to know how we are securing our resources. We need to tell the story of our own traditional, our own beautiful language like Swahili, our own lands, our own trees, what the trees communicate to each other, the birds, you know. We need to talk something that is not negative. We need to bring the positive vibe. So this song was all about the positive vibe. Thank you so much who did the sound. It was, you know, it's like grabbing, you know, in hip hop we say grooving. It had the groove like someone is to walk with some chains, you know. That's the sound of the beat. big up to our producer, and also big up to the vocalist Emma, who did an Maasai thing. In East Africa, we have many tribes, you know, but Maasai is one of the strong tribes that we know it exists. One way saying that, yesterday I was talking to my driver, like, do you know Maasai exists in Kenya and Tanzania? Do you know that Maasai are the people who give out the name Nairobi before they were thrown out to Nanyuki? Do you know that the Maasai are the only people that can pass without passport using this, you know? Do you know that Kilimanjaro is standing by East Africa? It's the largest mountain in Africa, and it's in Kenya and Tanzania. Do you know that also we have that Victoria that is in East Africa? So it's like East Africa is the paradise we are missing to know. Here, I think Adam and Eve were here, somewhere here in Tanzania, Arusha, or Mombasa, all that. We used to live with those animals. We used to live with the hyenas, the elephants. And in the Bible or the Quran, we are told that people could talk with the animals. So I've seen young boys controlling and cattle and goats, talking to them, and they can listen and they can graze and eat, you know. So it means that we are the prophets in the history. So this is all about Pan-Africanism. Is the right thing an African can give when content is concerned. So thank you so much. I'm happy that you gave your time to listen about this. Maybe the Swahili is so much deep with them. I think we need to be like, when the Wazungu were bringing us books we read, we had to go to school to know what they're saying. So it's the right time. When Swahili's been there, you need to go to school to know what I meant. So thank you so much. Asante.
For all those, for all that wisdom. And again, that's an example of how we can develop our wisdom, huh? And I love listening to young people. I'm probably the oldest one out here. This will be my last year in my 60s. I'll be 70 next year.
Yes.
And I love hip hop.
Wow.
And I love conscious hip hop because I learned so much from it. I have developed not only my musical ear, but my poetic ear by listening to youth, by listening to young people express themselves. As I said, if you want to relate to young people, you better know something about hip hop, huh? Because of the ago. So it's a whole bunch of elders who are definitely OGs in the hip hop community. Yes. So thank both of y'all for that. I think that before we look at Shango Warrior, I that too. I want us to sing a song together. This is a song that I love, one of my classics. We Walk the Way of a New World. And that's again about expressing our creativity, expressing our quality, that we want to build community, international community, Pan-African community. So I'm going to play it on Nyatiti, y'all, to sing at a certain point. And what I like to do I still got time? It's just one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So what I normally do is I like divide the room up, the gathering up, and we see who's able to sing this with fervor, with real meaning, and sing it like you mean it. Do we all want to do what we can?
Yes.
Do we? Yeah. Well, in order to do that, you got to have a different way you carry yourself. You got to have a different focus. Huh? Yeah, that's right. So in order to do that, we got to walk the way of a new world.
Yes, Mama.
And that's going to be the chorus that y'all going to sing. Okay? All right, here we go. Okay. I hope this your teaching's gonna work okay, sister. You know this old pickup. I don't know if you all have ever seen this instrument. It's called a nyatiti, and okay, cool. Thank you. Is that live music?
Yeah, they're doing a sound check.
Oh, okay. Shoot, I'm gonna have to get over there too and check that out. Yeah, I see why you was over there, Cotton. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Let me get closer.
So this is a nyatiti. It actually comes from the Luo community in Kenya. All right. But instruments like this, which is a lyre, L-Y-R-E, it might sound odd saying that word with my Kansas City accent. And I always get teased because even when I speak Kiswahili, it has that Kansas City accent, huh? That's where I was born, eh? So lyres are very prevalent all across East Africa. And you can tell it's a lyre because it has two arms and a crosspiece. And harps are very, very prevalent in West Africa. And you can identify a harp because it has one neck. I also play a harp called a Kamali Ngoni, which I didn't bring today, but that's okay. You'll hear me another time. And I have played it here before. So this has 8 strings. Is it on, sister? You know, this pickup on here is not the best. It must be on. Yeah? It's okay? Can y'all hear it? It has 8 strings, so it's kambanane. And this is the back of it that I painted. And this is usually, a nyatiti is painted in more geometric lines, but male nyatiti players or musicians, they call this their wife, but I call it my sister. So this represents a woman's nurturing breast. Can you see it? A lot of people think it's an eyeball that like somebody had a hangover or something. But these are the veins, which are the life-giving force, right? So that's why I painted it like this. And then cowrie shells in our African spiritual community and in African history. Did you know that cowrie shells used to be used as money in Africa?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we're in the film, and this is one of the things shells were used as money. I wish it still was. I'd be kind of rich. But my spiritual power colors, So I like to incorporate red and black in as much as I can. And then when I was decorating this, I had no idea it was going to look like a face. Strings are coming out of the mouth, doesn't it? You know, when I was decorating it, I was just painting it. I was just going with the flow. Okay, and then, of course, this is a dream catcher. And dream catchers, I got this one actually in Denver. And a lot of the native people in America use dream catchers. And I said, well, hey, let me put it on my instrument and it will help catch and grow my dreams, my musical dreams. So that's what all that's about. So this is how it sounds. Oh, and traditionally, now this is a part of y'all's musical development, right? Traditionally, you sit on a low stool and you play the nyatiti on the ground. But many musicians these days are holding it up like this. And that's how Ayub Ogada used to play his Rest in Peace. Okay, so this is how it sounds. Wait a minute. My dress was cold. Okay, now this is how it sounds. Emma, what do you think about that string? Should we leave it like that? Emma always helps me tune my instrument because these tuning rings are hard to turn, y'all. And I didn't mention that this used to be taboo for women to play. And the first woman who actually played it was a study abroad student from Japan. Anyango is her luo thing. And I don't call that appropriation at all, because she honors the traditions of the Luo community. As a matter of fact, she lived in a Luo village and studied with one of the elders who played Nyatiti for 2 years. She learned the language, and she went back to Japan, and she travels all over the world and let people, know about Nyatiti music. And she inspired Susan O'Wheel and Ati Sana, and Ati Sana inspired me, and now there are a handful of women who play Nyatiti. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
So. We're the dreamers and we're the sowers. Indigo children, the teachers and the preachers. And we're the chosen. We're the artists, we're the seekers, and we walk.
Go, Mama.
Walk, y'all. We walk the way of a new world. Now I'm gonna sing it first, and then y'all gonna sing it, okay? We walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk the way of the new world. Is that too high?
No, it's okay.
It's kind of high for me. Yeah. But that's all right. Now y'all hear it now. We
walk the way of the new world.
Now we're gonna divide up this room in this beautiful tent.
Yeah.
That looks so nice. Poles and everything. I'm gonna walk around when we finish. It's very beautiful. Okay, now y'all got it? We can sing it a cappella first. Y'all know a cappella?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
We walk, we walk, we walk, we walk,
we walk,
we walk the way of the new
world. You got it?
The way of the new world.
Competition and all that so much, especially when it comes to music. But we get ready to have a competition now. And we're going to see who sings it with the most spirit. Like they mean it. It's actually more people on this side of the room than here. So maybe we should just sing it together. Yeah, tuko pamoja. Sawa, are y'all ready over there? Okay, here we go now. 1, 2, 3. We walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk.
The way of the new world.
Y'all got that beat. We're gonna sing it one more time. Okay? Come on, y'all. Let your hands singing. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
We
Why you jumped the gun? Was that you? I wish I had one of them drums over there. I didn't bring my drum. Yeah. Man, it's all good. We walk,
we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, the way of the new world.
We walk, we walk. Come on, y'all.
We walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, the way of the new world.
We walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk,
the way of the new world.
Yeah, okay. Give yourself a good clap.
The way of the new world.
Thank y'all. Okay. Now, you know, we're talking about exploring our spirituality, right? And this next film that was by the award-winning Emmy Award. Y'all know what an Emmy is? This sister got an Emmy for some of her work. Lisa Russell is in the house. And she does a lot of, if I can, she does a lot of filming for the UN. But she said this was, I think, her first music video. Oh, it wasn't your first. Okay. I dare say it was your best. I haven't seen your other one, but it was your best. Don't y'all go nowhere now. I want y'all to see this. Wow, I like that shirt you have on, brother. That's very nice. Very beautiful. Yeah, cool. So this is called Shango Warrior. And I think we must have been talking one day, and Lisa knows that I'm a student of the Arusha culture, and I'm also an initiated priestess. And I was saying, Brother Kawamoto has a very Shango warrior type personality and vibe, you know. And I think Lisa said, Shango Warrior. That's what it's gonna be named, Yeah. So it's a very beautiful film, and I hope Lisa and maybe Kai talk about it. Also, I'm in it too. So, and Emma, what you doing on this film? You enjoyed it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Emma has made so many films, you know, and I just his is it Brand? Is that the right name? It's My Historia. Yes. And also George Kimasholo is in the house. And if any of y'all know about Arusha Poetry Club, he is the founder of Arusha Poetry Club. Yes. And my dear brother and family member. Yes. And he was a volunteer at UACC. So anyway, my brother, we're gonna run Shango Warrior after I get off the stage, okay?
We walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, we walk, the way of the new world, the way of the new world.
Shango Warrior.
Mtoto anayekataa poda chajabu anaweza kuwa alafu akairudia poda. Nasikia watoto wanaugua jinsi baba sigari rithi nchana yangu mkifa naondoke na nchi ya Kimathi. Njafikia hata niliposimama jana, leo utaiona nyayo. Bazazi nshibishi kisikia napiga miayo. Luku za Mathayo ni kana story ya Yesu. Ni hiyo tu ni hayo kumzungu na albino kwetu. Hamnizidi urefu hata upandishwe juu Zakayo. Back to the Rusala Salasa Michael Zion. Punch kama nyundo ya too. Kizito kipi wapokonya toto microphone wapatie pipi iwandikie listi, watasahau tu akifika, waduka wamempetero jogwali jawika. Koko nimeumbwa na udongo, imanishi niogope mvua, waheshimu mabinti vuvi ndio wanaongoza kuvua. Utasikia na wasumbua na sikumbuke kitwa jipu, na kwapa makalio na lufanya wakaiki stereo. Huku wapiti mjomba, nyumba pili wanatoa kafara, hata afrobeat kipita huku na geuzwa kipara. Moshi kama ara, chuga kama bara, wambie sofala, nokesha ndumba niko kwa swala. Swahili MC standing, wanyinyi jiji la wangosu, na wale mambwiji ambao ni wadau wenye roho za korosho. Wako fasta kusima data ili wazuge na neti ya mshikaji, kubalo la kutoa alafu mlango wako naacha wazi. Hizi kazi nianza kuona future nikiwa vidudu, na shukuru kipaji, I'm too proud kujiona sugu. Mwenye lines kama punda milia, waki nyusudu, waki mabubu, wezi kuongea nikiwa na vudu. Back kwenye skuli kapuka ndani ya kaburi, wambie maraba walo nikuta tulize goli, wambie wa kwanza kabla yeye nilikuwa sufuri. So tulize mori wakae kitako ni wape story.
And bless our warrior Shango spirits and balance us with a bottle of goodness. Mochuba Olodumare, Mochuba Ikungu, Mochuba Isha Mioya, Oshun Shango, Batala, Ogun, Mochuba.
Hii ni ngumu babu, unaweza tobolia sikio na isfresh hata ikibuma ama isipofika kwa radio. Tushaona mastaa walojengwa na uwezo sio, sikuize sio talanta, unaweza kutrendi tu kwa kalio. Matokeo, talanta na kato unaishiwa bando, anaona sio mbaya kutafuta kiki, kuanzishe skendo, kando kando, kasika story za uongo na kweli wamesha feli. Kwa kwali ngoja kubebwa na feri, hata teli, ikizima habari inafikia raia. Kuna matapeli kwa makateli wanatuharibia, walofanya pioneers wengi wakasaulika, walokufa na bia utasikia wakusaulika. Badilisha tabia, washajua unapojificha, badilisha njia, washazijua nazo zipita, badilisha tasnia. Hii high level huwezi fika, mtu romba ikifika kwa mdundo kushinda Hitler. Goat, ilo kinitambuzi pia ni sawa, jinsi navyotafuna rappers kwenye nchi za kahawa. Hiso kama kawa, extraordinary skills ka power, heshima kadamu, kopi zangu ndo zinatoa hawa. Napagawa na mambo fulani baadhi nsioyajua, kwa kuwa natokea east sina paswa kuwa jua. Wakitrade bazao si tuko okay, kana tokea Arusha nikiwa Moshi ma all day. Pwani unichukuliaga pila kama Vasco. Hama rap ndio ananyona hadi kwa haina platform utasikia hani ngumu kudel nao, wapatie show mzenguana alafu maiki wandoke nayo.
Good work, Lisa.
Now, Sister Lisa, I sure want you to comment, and Brother Kyle, please talk about, because a lot of people don't know Kiswahili, even I know Kiswahili, but it is so poetic that a lot of it needs some. Brother George, I know you like that because you love poetic lyrics. You are one of the poetic lyricists.
Habari za saizi. Yeah, now we have to switch in Swahili. Yeah, Shango, warrior. Warrior is a warrior, is someone who can defend his or her society against anything that is not good, evil, negative vibe and all that. So that's a warrior. Warrior is not about fighting. Some warriors are known only by making their speech. Some warriors are known by making people follow them. Some warriors who are not even involved in the guerrilla fight in the bushes, you know, but they were warriors. For example, Sinti bin Said, all the way from Zanzibar, she's a warrior. She's the first woman who made women have the freedom of expressing their truth using songs. That's what came after Biki Dude. He sang the songs of Sinti bin Said. So warriors are warriors. Shango is a word that I think I'll just leave for Mama C to take it more in the Western culture, the West African culture, not Western culture. So my bars, my lyrics, my metaphors, my similes, my content in this song, it was all about me being a warrior in a society that people don't want to hear the truth. People who are neglecting, people who are opposing whatever is real, but they are, you know, praising the fake things and work things. So I'm coming from that society. I'm coming from the society that when you speak the truth, you're the person who needs to be in jail. You're the person who are bad influence to the society. When you speak the truth, and it's not the place that I'm coming from, I think it's how people think, you know. For example, one of my friends that I like listening to their songs, NWA, people like Ice Cube, they did a song that was like, F the police, you know. Why? Because the police was brutal, killing young boys there, but they were banned. The likes of Pac, Tupac Shakur is also, some of his tracks were banned because he was saying the truth. The likes of Kalamoto, he had a song called Habari Moto Moto. He had to be banned for not performing that song. And many other people, many other poetry, the likes of Ngugi wa Thiong'o, who was exiled from his own motherland to go all the way to live in the States for almost 20 years, only because he told the government what they wanted to know about, you know, painting our walls in the CBD, and her wife was raped. That's the story of Ngugi wa Thiong'o, if you never knew that. So when you be yourself, when you be real, when you try to gather the positive vibe and try to speak the truth, you are always the dangerous person in their society. So the Shango warrior was giving me the freedom of speaking. So I was speaking several things in the same tone, maybe several things in the 3-minute beat. I was trying to talk about the poverty styles. I was trying to talk about, you know, these people are bringing us, these people who came to rob our staffs are the one who came back to give us aid. You know what I mean, you know? Yeah, the same people who are like killing you are the same people who come to your burial and give out a lot of money so that you can be buried well. The same people who are giving you diseases are the people who are giving you the medicine. So they are making you a project. The same people who are making you starve for hunger. You know, they're the one calling you, hi, hello, Mama C, have you eaten today? And they know that they stole everything that you need to use, like your dinner and supper and lunch. So I was just trying to talk more about the conscious way of thinking life, you know, and the conscious way that a warrior can stand and fight for his or her own freedom. So that's Shango. The many metaphors, you know, wordplay are meant so that the youth can, you know, can get what I'm saying easily. But the content in this track was all about the real and reality, and I think it's all about hip hop. Hip is to know, hop is the movement. So I was trying to move with my own, you know, I was trying the normal thinking capacity that God gave me. I was thinking extra miles so that I can get some things that I'm not usually thinking, you know. So Shango Warrior, it's a hip-hop track that I fused with Mama C, who brought the blessings, who was like the chanting things, was like trying to take me back to my ancestors, trying to get the protection of my ancestors, trying to give me, you know, give me the blessings, give me the black power. If I'm talking about the black power, I'm not talking about the witchcraft. I'm talking about the power that all African boys and girls have that. So the blessing was all about me calling up names, me calling up my grandfather, me calling up people like Julius Nyerere, the first, you know, the teacher in Tanzania, me calling about Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Chinua Achebe, me trying to call all upon, you know, all those Mekatilili, the Maji Maji rebellion, all the people who fought for anything in these lands, you know, the idea of Shango, and that's the idea of, despite people will think you are the bad person, but you need to stand for your truth. You know, it's easy for you to be real, but it's so expensive for you to be work or fake, you know. Like, for example, me saying that I'm an African, I don't have to define it more and more. it's just me, you know. So what I wrote in that lyrics, punchline, wordplay, it's all about being you. So you don't have to fake being you. If you are you need to be you, not VWXYZ. Thank you.
Thank you for that explanation. And before Sister Lisa has a few words to share, I do want you to know who Shango is. Shango is one of the Orisha, or deities, or nature spirits who we honor and absorb in Orisha traditional religion or Orisha culture. And Shango is, when you see lightning, you know, that's a Shango vibe, a Shango spirit. You should look up Shango to learn more about that powerful spirit as one of the Orisha. Do some homework, y'all. Orisha is spelled Orisha. That's one of the spellings of it. And there are many Orishas, but Shango is one of the 5 or 6 really well-known Orishas in the community. So, yeah, Shango warrior. I got some Shango in me also. And I think many of us do.
Yes.
Yes, you do too, my sister.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So, Sister Lisa, what's up? All right, pass the mic.
Yeah, that's how we
Thank you. So I just want to start off by saying, like, this collaboration happened purely because I think of the culture and the environment of UAACC. If you bring a bunch of different artists into that space, which Mama Charlotte does often, collaborations just organically happen. So this was not intended. We worked pretty hard in a few days to make it happen, but my approach as a filmmaker, I want to give a little bit of background about my theory about filmmaking, especially as a non-African in an African country. I started my film career many years ago. I was working in the war in 1999 in Kosovo and Albania, and I had not ever thought about becoming a filmmaker. I had been a dancer, I was a gymnast, I had done a lot of creative stuff, but never thought about becoming a filmmaker until I met a bunch of women from Kosovo who were invited into this high-level meeting, basically talking about the work that they were doing, this great work they were doing for refugee women and children in the refugee camps. And 2 women just looked really angry when they were there, and when we went around the room, they basically said, you know, we are really unhappy with the journalists who are coming into the refugee camps, because they're coming in and they want to tell this one story, which was a really important story, but it's the story about rape being used as a tool of war. And so journalists were coming into the refugee camps basically saying, I have 3 days to tell this story. I need to speak to women who've been raped. Can you raise your hand if you've been raped? And then what they said after is, I think, what really made me want to become a filmmaker, and that's that they said, you know, at the end of this war, we fear that we will no longer be remembered as Kosovar women, but as Kosovar women who've been raped. And that was 1999. That happened before 9/11. So I lived in New York, and we got very little information, like world news in a minute. We were not looking globally. And so I started paying attention to the films and the PSAs about Africa and talking to a lot of folks in the UN world that I was working in. And it was very clear that they were perpetuating these one-dimensional storylines that were very emotionally exploitative. And the people on the ground, the people whose stories were being told, really took offense to that. You know, it's like this, their dignity is being wiped out in order for us to tell this one sort of storyline. And so from that point forward, I became a filmmaker, but I was also very conscious to not be the kind of filmmaker that perpetuated these storylines. And that was very challenging, working primarily in the UN NGO world, because they have been very deliberate in telling those types of stories, and trying to change the narrative of that has been tricky.
But what I've done to do that is I work with artists. I've worked with Common, I work with Lauryn Hill, I work with hip hop artists, I work with artists from around the world, I bring them into the UN space, I work with poets, and I really use art, and especially conscious art, to change the narratives of how we see global development in the traditional sense. So approaching this music video is very interesting because I don't speak Swahili. But of course we're like, let's do something. So I sat with Kawamoto and had him go line by line and translate exactly what each line in the song meant. And then as a storyteller who's conscious of story structure, because I'm not a music video director, I'm a documentary filmmaker mostly, so story structure is very important to me. I didn't want to just put him in different places in different wardrobes, like singing the song, like a, you know, like just being like on stage doing whatever. I wanted to tell a story. So between him explaining to me what the lyrics meant and us, the three of us, talking about what kind of storyline we could tell, we went from being very like urban, he's wearing my Brooklyn hat, like, you know, being in the city, to something that's a little bit more spiritual in the center of UAACC. And so what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to do a music video as a non-African, being in Africa, being like, oh, let's shoot with you with goats or with little children who are wearing not wearing clothes. I didn't want to perpetuate that. And so because I live in New York City, I wanted to start the film in Arusha. And everyone was like, wait, I don't get what we're trying to do. I'm like, let's just shoot this one scene and the light is right, let's get out, let's do it. And we, you know, we had our behind the scenes moments, but that's sort of what came out of it. And I think the three of us were really pleased with all of our contribution and what we did to make this video happen, and it was fun and it was an honor, and I hope we get to do more. Kawamoto and I are actually working on a documentary about Swahili hip hop the collaboration came as a result of us being at UAACC. So that was a long way of describing the approach to this, but you know, again, I just wanted to work with real amazing artists and create a video that was not stereotypical to what Westerners at least would think about music videos in Africa.
Well, I think you succeed.
Wow, thank you.
So, you all, there's going to be the first screening, actually, of another film that's like a half-hour long by some filmmakers from Harlem, New York, who came to UAACC and wanted to explore different avenues, different meanings. And it's called Harlem to Kilimanjaro by Melvin McCrae and several other artists from Harlem. And Brother Emma Masai was one of the filmmakers, and Anwar M. Seichu and his crew. So y'all come here on this stage at 5 o'clock. I don't know what else is going on at 5 o'clock, but this is going to be going on. So please write that down on your Ratiba, Harlem to Kilimanjaro. I had a good time talking to you all, and I tell you, when I first came here, I was dragging because my husband's he's not feeling real good, and he's in the hospital, so I had to help take care of him. It was my honor to help take care of him last night, so I didn't sleep but maybe a half hour. But y'all's vibe lifted my spirit, you know, and one of my songs is music is my medicine, and it most certainly was today.
Yes.
And I thank y'all for that. I think we got a few minutes left, do we? Yes, we do. Yeah, so if anybody want to comment, add something, or whatever, we got a hot mic right here. Yes, you can. And I thank Con Festival for, again, inviting me here, and I appreciate that. And Kawamoto, you need to perform next Con Festival, I'm telling you. Yeah. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. And the brother with that beautiful shirt, I wish that was my size. But unfortunately it ain't. It's very nice. Yes, my sister, say who you are if you don't mind.
I'm Marissa Hekama. I'm a writer and yoga teacher from the UK. I just want to give thanks to Mama C for bringing spirituality to this festival. It's so important. And I mean, we're only 20% physical, we are 80% spiritual. So we have to take care of our spiritual essence. And I give thanks to the ancestors for allowing me to be here and allowing all of us to come together and share. Been wonderful. Give thanks.
Thank you. There's a hot mic, y'all.
Thank you so much. My name is Aisha. I'm from Kenya. And I just want to say thank you so much for this session. It has been amazing. I mean, most of the times we tend to forget our spirituality. We tend to forget that we are Africans. We tend to forget that we are Black. Yeah, so this has been a session which has reminded us who we really are and who we really should be. So it has been amazing. I've enjoyed, I've learned. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, man.
Oh, good. George can go.
There's the mic. That's my brother George Kimushola.
Thanks a lot, Mama C. Yo, it has been far too long since I've seen this performance from you. And to be honest, I'm very emotional when. That's why I just keep it, but she keep an eye on me.
That's right.
I think I'm so overwhelmed to see Mama C's performance, to see Karamoto, to see most of my friends that I haven't seen for years, and also to have this powerful music speaking about ourselves, our inner spirit, our bodies, our mentality, our everything. And there's a deep lyrics from the brother right there, Kalamoto Kiumbe, that I keep processing right now. And I don't know, I wish I could explain, but I'm still processing. But what I can say, it was too deep. The video is deep. As myself, I happen to lost my speech past sometimes. And
all good.
It was hard. Be experience that you can see yourself, like who watched the In Time movie? In Time, I just did it. It happened to me that I can see my time, and it's just going down. Like every day, you see